But there's a lot of people that made their first billion after like 8 mistakes.
Putting AI into your SMMA to
Yeah.
leverage people's times, make your product instead of just generating leads, help them call the leads and nurture it. So all they have to do is just show up to their gym, do what they need to do. So here are the three pillars to making this work. The reason why I'm harping about LinkedIn after doing tens of thousands of appointments for agency owners and businesses is because
So today's guest speaker, his name is Marques Pizarro. He's spoken in one of our live calls before. One of Ty's students. He's actually been doing 50K per month, helped over 1,000 agency owners scale through DM outreach along with paid ads. We're very excited to have him back on. Marques, thank you so much for coming back.
what's up, guys? First off, appreciate you, Antonio, for making this happen and getting me back here. Welcome to this LinkedIn masterclass. And the number one thing I want to teach you guys today and tell you guys today is this. And when it comes to marketing, there's certain outreach platforms that just work at certain times, right? Things ebb and flow. Like I was saying, some just work better at different times. So again, giving you guys context, I've been in the agency space for 7 years, and I've been able to see what's been working not only for myself, but for other agencies scaling to 100K, 150K a month plus. And so from 2022 to 2024, I've seen huge success with email. And from 2020 to 2023, I personally have seen huge success with IG, getting myself more personal training clients, more gym owners. That was my niche, and also Facebook. But now it's gone super diluted. The biggest analogy I'm going to be using for you guys is fishing. Who here fishes? It's so funny. I actually don't fish, but it's a good analogy. Okay, if you guys have gone fishing and you know if like there's so many fishing hooks in the lake, it's hard to catch fish, right? And so these business owners, I'm talking about B2B specifically, they're getting bombarded by 5 to 10 DMs a week, sometimes a day, right? And that's like gym owners for okay, shout out to Felix, all right? Cast a fishing net if you can. And same thing with emails, when you're emailing people, they're just getting numb to it because they're getting 5 to 10 inquiries about the same service or about the same, service to help them get more leads. So there's certain things you can do. I'm not saying Instagram sucks or email sucks, cold calling sucks. They all work, right? But it's just becoming less effective. So there's things that you can do. You can do more in volume, which is casting a fishing net or casting fishing hooks. Okay, so Jared and Felix, you guys can call me on my bluff here if I'm using the analogies wrong, since it's your guys' bread and butter, okay? But the other thing is having a sweeter bait, a sweeter offer, right? And something that's more enticing than the competitors. Or you can make it easier for yourself and just fish where no one is fishing right now. And guys, to be transparent, helping 1,000 other online business owners and helping them literally get appointments left and right, that is LinkedIn right now. What's so funny is that LinkedIn has been here longer than Facebook itself and Instagram. I think it's like 2005 or six. Um, but basically, the reason why I'm preaching LinkedIn is this. There's, again, fewer business owners on LinkedIn right now using it to actually get their own clients. And specifically, I'm talking about agencies, right? Digital marketing. And the other thing, it's a B2B platform. So if you're working in B2B, people want to get pitched. Now I'm going to show you examples here in a second before we dive into everything and how you can make this work for yourself. But people love it when they hear good, good pitches, right? It's like the way I think of it is like LinkedIn is like going to an event space. Say that you're going after real estate agents, right? It's like going to a real estate convention center. And basically you're just saying, "Hey, I do this for real estate. I saw that you do this and you're in Sacramento." They're like, "Yeah, let's link up." It's like that. They're really like open to hearing what you have to offer if it's good. Typically, the users are also more established, and I'm going to talk about that as well. Here's some crazy cool stats. Like first off, people who are on LinkedIn, 60% of the users are 25 to 34 years old. Now, why does that matter? Like for those who are above 34, you guys are like, well, wait a minute, wait a minute. No, I'm joking. It's because Gen Zs, myself, millennials, Generation Alphas, they already got their LinkedIn set up. And a lot of people like my age, 24, 25 plus, a lot of these guys are just got out of law, just got out of school, and they are active on LinkedIn, to establish their business. And so they're actively on LinkedIn. Now, the other cool part is this: 4 out of 5 LinkedIn users drive business decisions. So if you're selling a B2B product, you want to be talking to the head honchos, the CMOs, the directors, the managers, the operations person, even HR. You can talk to the HR, and of course, the CEOs. So it's easy to get in front of these guys where I had a lot of difficulty when you're hitting up a gym page. You don't know, it's a 50% shot if they are the gym owner or the friendly social media manager at their front desk. First off, again, I just want to iterate like why should I hate to say it, like it sounds so weird, but like why should you trust me? What can I throw out there as ethos? So again, I've been in this space for 7 years, struggling to get myself more appointments. Cold calling was not my thing. I had a high pitched voice. Low-key, I had a little bit of an accent. I'm just going to be telling you guys that. And basically, DM outreach allowed that to be an even playing field for a guy like me. And that allowed me to get a lot of gym owners, which is why I do DM outreach for people. You know, I've been coached by Joel Kaplan, who helped hundreds of agency owners hit 100K a month plus, and have been grateful. It's a privilege to actually be working with him still and helping other agency owners grow. Now I'm doing, like here, teaching you guys how to grow your business, how to scale it. I've also managed and trained hundreds of virtual assistants to get appointments for my agency and other agencies. We've done so many retreats, so many fun things. And again, here we are talking about how you guys can do this for yourself. Let me actually show you a couple of people who are using LinkedIn. So this is Kyle and Josh, and literally last March in 2024, to 2025 March, they hit from 0 to 40K a month, all through DMs, no paid ads, right? It's strictly through DMs. They're in real estate, and right now they're landing 3 to 4 appointments every day just through LinkedIn. And so they're getting responses where people are saying, I would love to. Today is jam-packed with appointments. Tomorrow afternoon is light if that works for you. Positive replies, we say. This other one down here, sure, I've been around for quite a while, and I'm also quite picky with who I work with. So again, they're also more established. You know, they don't want to waste time, but they are open to hearing how you can help them do business. They're not newbies usually. And I just want to point out, like, depending on like what niche you are, it doesn't matter. Everyone's on LinkedIn, right? So this is Jesse, and Jesse lands like 9+ high ticket clients, each paying him 10K off of LinkedIn. And the niche he's in, if you guys can't tell based off his photo, is fitness. And so it's kind of crazy to me because him and I have known each other for 3 years, 4 years actually. And while I was using IG, he was using LinkedIn to go after people. And he's the one actually who introduced and got me open-minded to using LinkedIn myself. And so he's actually using this, believe it or not, it's a fun fact, as a service for his fitness clients. So not only does he use it to get clients, he uses it to service his clients. It's that powerful. And let me just show you one more person. So this is Yuma. He literally just started like this year, and he's only gotten like 1 to 4 appointments a month. Now with LinkedIn, he's getting 1 to 4 appointments a day, actually specifically 3 to 4 appointments a day in the financial service space. Which when I heard that, I was like, oh, you need to be on LinkedIn. That's where they're hanging out. And again, these are positive replies that you guys want, where people are say, happy to meet up at some point. Interesting. Let's chat. Right? Let's find some time this week for a chat. I would be interested to see how you can help me. There's genuinely interested businesses, business people, and decision makers who are looking for your service, right? And so today I want to have one goal in mind, which is showing you how you can start landing 2 to 3 appointments or more every single day from LinkedIn and setting this up within just 1 week. All right, so here are the 3 pillars to making this work. So pillar number 1 is optimizing your LinkedIn profile. It's pretty obvious. You got to be presentable. You got to if before you even send them an offer, you need to connect, they need to connect with you, right? The second thing is having a compelling offer, which we'll talk about and how to make that. And then the third pillar is scaling this out, right? Once you have a good profile, good offer, now it's talking about, okay, how can we ramp this up to the point where I'm getting 3, 4+ appointments every single day? So let's start with number 1, optimizing your profile. It's pretty simple. I just have a quick checklist here. So first off, you want to just have a quick presentable image and banner that is appropriate to your niche, right? So if you're working with gym owners, still you can have like a tank top. That's totally fine and normal. But if you're working with lawyers, you got to look a little bit more casual, business oriented. Now, the big idea, I know a lot of people might turn me off right now because it's like the most easiest thing to understand. But the biggest thing you want to take away here is it's not about who you are or about me. It's not really about you. What you need to do is actually turn it around and say who you help, right? So in your bio, you need to literally say who it is that you help, call them out. So for me, I say helping law firms and lawyers because I run a law agency too. The second thing is how you help them achieve those desired outcomes. So you can say get more pre-qualified leads, right? Which is also a pain I understand that lawyers need. They don't want to talk with tire kickers or not cases that aren't worth it. and what you've done for others, right? So, for example, I do this on a pay per lead basis, and I've done this for thousands of other businesses. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of unshare really quick and actually just take you through to my LinkedIn. And if you're on LinkedIn, connect with me. I'd love to connect with you guys. But basically, in your About Me, and I'll give you guys a link to do it this way. But you need to, again, it's not about who you are, what you've done. It's about what you do for them. So for me, literally in the first or second line, I'm saying, are you a law firm or a lawyer? And then you list out their problems. Find themselves trying to generate more business through agencies that charge up front because we do pay per qualified appointment, having to sit in front of a computer to handle tedious marketing and outreach to generate leads, doing it yourself, in other words, which is a pain, effort, and sacrifice. And the third is having to generate business every time without consistency, basically having ups and downs in your business. Now, what you want to do is share what you can do to help them, right? So we say we help use we help you using our a simple three-step process to help law firms and lawyers get pre-qualified leads using our leads to lawyer system. So it's just a unique mechanism name. So you might be asking what that is, and we basically talk about what the service is, how it actually, works and why is it different and why does it benefit them. Then from there, all you have to do is just have a quick call to action, again, calling out to who you're working with, and then having that call to action saying, message me leads, and we can go over it. Now, to be transparent, like I probably get like 1 to 2 people hitting me up and saying leads or like, hey, I read your About Me, I'm interested. What we're talking about is cold outreach, but this is a great way because when you connect with people, they're going to read this and scan this in like 10 seconds, and then they're going to finally connect with you, and then they'll get your message. Now, let's go to pillar number 2, crafting a compelling offer. So, a lot of people, think that they have to have like the best script in the world and like all that stuff. Like, yes, you got to have a good script, but at the end of the day, what's going to get people hopping on a call with you, especially if you run a service-based business like I do, is going to be your compelling offer, right? Alex Hormozi came out with a fabulous book called $100 Million Offers. And one of my favorite quotes he says is this, and I'm going to say it quick. Basically, if you have no offer, you have no business, you have no life. If you have a bad offer, you have a bad business, bad life. If you have a good offer, you have good business, good life. If you have a fabulous offer, fabulous business, fabulous, right? There are a bunch of formulas out there, but Alex Mosey stands to be true. And I want to make this applicable. And again, if you're an agency owner, I'm going to make this applicable for you specifically here. So, we have the dream outcome on the top of numerator with perceived likelihood of achievement, and on the numerator denominator, like things that decrease the value if increased, is time delay and effort and sacrifice. So, kind of making applicable here, what you can say in your script is saying like, hey, we'll bring you 10 new PT clients in only 30 days without any ad spend, right? If you do SEO, or you don't pay, right? If we don't hit it, the next month is free, or it's all done for you, right? Reducing the sacrifice needed. And then the way to increase perceived likelihood of achievement could simply be like saying, would you like to see how we're doing this for other personal trainers? How would you like to see how we're doing this for other real estate agents, right? Would you like to see how this can be done for other people, right? So it's having that social proof and being able to provide it. Okay. So that's how you increase value through offers. I want to talk about his offer formula. So one is having a vehicle or a unique mechanism. Number two is the promise, which we kind of covered, and then risk reversal. So as you can see, you can put it together and say like, we'll bring you 10 to 15 PT clients in 30 days using our new AI chatbot, or you don't pay, or like using our TikTok outreach system, and then again risk reversal, or if we don't hit it, we'll give you a refund, or we work for free until we do, right? So that way we understand, again, going back to Alex Mo's thing, we are increasing the value and then quickly saying, show me how this works, let's have a chat. Now notice how that's like the most important part, because you can set up LinkedIn, do so many connections, but if you don't have a good offer, you're not going to get a lot of people biting the bait, right? You're not going to get a lot of people hooked to meet with you. Now pillar 3 is scalability, right? Once you get a good, compelling offer, you're getting a couple of appointments here and there. Now you just need to increase volume. And one of my best sayings, you guys probably heard it from like a million gurus, hopefully, is volume is king. Volume is king. Who here is a Stephen Curry fan? The point I want to make here is I actually can score more points than Steph Curry. Everyone's like, that's totally BS. Now, let me explain. Let's just say I shoot 53 pointers, okay? And using my JV varsity stats, I make 10 out of 50. I'm just totally downplaying myself. Steph Curry, who's going against me, he shoots only 5 shots and makes 5 for 5. Pretty sure you can. Guess what? I just beat Steph Curry because I doubled the amount of shots I made. Why? Volume, right? Volume really can trump everything. So you can have a good offer, but if you're only, sending 20 messages a day, you're going to get beat by the person who sends 100 a day, right? And today I'm going to talk to you guys again about how you can scale this out so that you get more appointments. So these are my secret weapons. So someone mentioned it a moment ago. I did see that. Number one is having Sales Navigator, just the core. The second is having a virtual assistant. And the third is using and leveraging automation. Okay. So with Sales Navigator Core, right, all you need is Sales Navigator Core, and I think you can get like 30 days free and then $90 thereafter. You get what are called in-mails. And basically, if you don't know LinkedIn and how connections work, you need to wait for people to connect with you until you can message them. But with in-mails, you are basically allowed to bypass that hurdle and just send messages straight to them. And usually, if you have a good script and a good offer, right, that matters, you can get a positive reply out of 50, 10 to 15 people saying, hey, show me how this works. That's 10 to 15 straight appointments onto your calendar right there. So if it's like $90, it's well worth it because if you're selling high ticket, like a 1,500 a month retainer, that pays for itself. I 100% recommend that you get this. Again, it goes to straight to people's messages, no need to request or wait for them to connect with you. The second thing is a virtual assistant. So obviously, you are going to be doing this yourself to begin with, and I hope you guys do before you pass this off to someone. Once you've mastered this, now you can delegate this and duplicate yourself, as I like to say, to a virtual assistant. Again, you can get a virtual assistant from the Philippines, from overseas, right? South Africa, Colombia, etc. And it's cost effective, $3 to $5 an hour. You can hire them, even give them bonuses for booking you appointments, like $5 for every booked appointment they bring you. Great stuff, right? And all you have to do is create SOPs on how to respond to messages, how to respond to certain objections, how to respond to certain, how to book them in, right? So all you have to do is take the sales calls, right? So that's why you should hire a virtual assistant. So again, get Sales Navigator, allows 15 more in-mails straight to people's messages, no need to request, and then get a virtual assistant to delegate this. Now, you guys are probably wondering, okay, Marcus, well, how do I, again, scale this up? Sure, you can delegate my time. I can get more messages through Sales Navigator, but the other part is using an automation. So we have an automation tool, and I'll kind of quickly talk about this. It 3x's my messages per day. So the average LinkedIn account does 20 to 30 a day. We do 100 a day safely on one account. And the best part is that it's automated, right? It's delegated to the automation to target the right people. And so the cool part about LinkedIn, right, is that everyone, I'm going to go back here, everyone tells you who they are. So like I literally can go here and use LinkedIn and do a quick filter, almost like if it's paid ads, targeting certain job titles, targeting certain employers, geo-targeting, even current companies or past companies where they connected with. And you can start finding your client avatar. It's super cool, right? And so this automation tool can do it all for you. And so this tool I'm talking about specifically, I know there's a bunch from Alfred to Dripify to Messagely. The one we personally use is called Ulink. It's a private access software down below. And I look, I'm gonna be honest. I want you guys to use this. It's what works for everyone. It's gonna help you guys scale. So down below this video, there's a link to gain access to the software. I'll drop it in the Zoom chat. And it's just 75 to use it per every account you add. So this is where scalability comes into play because the last part I mentioned is that you can add unlimited accounts to this automation software. I've tried several different automation softwares and you can only be limited to a certain amount. There's literally someone using who added 25 accounts and is doing roughly, if you do the math, 25,000 messages a day. Now, to be honest, I think he's in real estate or something because if you do doctors, you're going to run out of your TAM, your total addressable market, really fast. Okay. So highly suggest using Ulink. I'll drop the link down below so you guys can use it, okay? But again, pillar number one is optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Pillar number two, you gotta have a compelling offer to get people enticed to bite, right, and book a meeting with you. And the last pillar is scalability, right? You gotta do this in large numbers. I'm gonna drop the link really quick here. But again, the reason why I'm harping about LinkedIn after doing tens of thousands of appointments for agency owners and businesses is because in 2025, this is like what's working more than Instagram. I hate to say it because Instagram has been my love. It's what helped me grow my business. But right now, LinkedIn has proven through numbers that it is better performing than Instagram.
What's up, everybody? How's
Hey, what's
everybody
up,
doing?
Ty?
How's
Doing
everybody?
good.
Is everybody learning the Instagram outreach game?
I actually gave some game on LinkedIn. It's been superb. How are you, Ty?
So what do you think of LinkedIn? 1 to 10 as a platform for business owners.
Um, for most business owners, I think it's 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. The reason why, just to break it down, it's a B2B platform. People like to be pitched there. I'm in the digital marketing space, SMMA. And
Yep.
the second thing is it's easy to find the decision makers, whereas Instagram, you know, if you're hitting up the page, it's a 50-50 shot between decision maker or social media like planner manager. And the third thing is the only issue is that LinkedIn, it's hard to scale out, but there are certain tools now with AI that you can leverage to do
Yeah,
more in outreach.
for sure. I use AI. I've got 1,000 conversations running right now on my Instagram, all managed. More. Let me look, actually. I just set up a new automation for, let me see how many new conversations are happening as we speak. This one has 506. This one has 544. This one has 1,222. This one has 3,438,
Dang.
4,700. So I got different automations. This one's 1,270. I'm probably using AI and outreach into inbox. This is not LinkedIn. This is Instagram, but I probably got about 9,000 conversations a week, all handled by AI. So make sure there are only two business models that are going to last. There's only two ways to make big money in the future. When it's going to be, you need to be AI brands or social media brands, or build both, which is what I do. That's where all the reward is. So, if you can think of LinkedIn as like a social media and then incorporate AI, you're getting both at the same time. So, and it's interesting, AI still has a lot of bugs in it. Like I was up till 3 a.m. working with my computer programmers, but I like that because I like when my dream situation is when the market isn't completely working, because I know most people are quitters. So right now, for somebody to install AI automations, you can get 80% set up and then 20% is full of bugs and AI is making a mistake. And so most people are quitters. So I was just actually, a guy was at my house who's doing 25 million a year, and he gave up on AI. He's like, I'm going to wait another year because we tried to do it and we got it 90% working. And then the damn thing had too many bugs. Well, I didn't want to tell him, but I was like, you quitting too soon. So never get into a technology or a strategy that's completely perfect, because then everybody's going to compete. I like it when it's like 80% perfect, 20% hard. So, any kind of LinkedIn outreach, Instagram outreach, AI conversation bots, it's a good time to do now, because the technology quitters are going to leave. They're going to instantly leave the game, because it is, even though some AI can be set up overnight. Don't get me wrong, but the more advanced stuff just can't. So I really encourage you all to don't give up easily. That's the number one thing. Be
Yeah.
excited when things are hard. I don't do anything that's not hard. There's a saying, you get paid in proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve. I see a lot of people going, Ty, what's the easiest thing to make money? And I'm like, well, if I tell you the easiest thing, then guess what? 10,000 people are going to do it this month and it won't work anymore. When you're in a grocery store, if a new line opens up to check out, instantly it gets filled because it's easy to move. So you want things the best thing is something that's easy, but it appears hard. That's even better than anything. Something that's easy, but appears hard. That would be, to me, that's kind of AI, because AI, you got to pay attention for a week or two, but then you have an automation running that saves you 10 hours of work and makes you 100 grand or $1 million. To me, a week's worth of work is not a lot, but for most people, you should read the stats on giving up. It's insane. The stats on humans giving up. Watch, I'm going to ask Let's see what ChatGPT says. Hold on. I like talking to it on stuff like this. After how many failures will the average human give up? So like going to the gym is example. Everybody January does New Year's resolutions to go to the gym, but then you don't see results right away. So people go that are not in good shape, they go for a week and it's kind of like a failure because you look the same, you know? Sometimes you actually get worse before you get better because your appetite goes up, so you eat more, you know? So let's see what ChatGPT says. I've seen different statistics. The average human gives up after 2 to 3 failures at anything. Exactly. It's funny. I've taught this in chat. Only 10% of people will push past 6 failures. Children and untrained adults give up the fastest after 1 failure because emotions are high. What do you all think? How many people give up after 1 failure? Adults. Let's see.
Let's say 80.
No, 25% will give up. Yeah, 25% of people give up after one failure, little failure. 55% give up after 2. 75% give up after 3. 85 after 4. And interestingly enough, after 8 failures, essentially all humans give up. It's like 99.99999. It rounds to 100. So, but there's a lot of people that made their first billion after like 8 mistakes. So you can just find something that takes 8 failures to figure out, because then you will have not one. It's kind of like building a social media brand. You know how many people have tried to build a business social media brand like what I did? Dude, 100,000 people have tried, and there's only like 5 or 10 big business social media brands. Out of 100,000 tries, there's 10. That's not even 1/10 of 1%. So I knew that building a social media brand that I have almost 13 million followers. I knew that was hard and most people would never do it. But I didn't even realize after eight mistakes, 100% of my competitors give up. So find stuff that takes 4 to 6 iterations to win at, because then you have no competitors and you make the most money when there's no competitors. I essentially have no competitors. I mean, there's a couple people who do what I do, but my biggest competition is with myself, just like doing it every day. But it's not like people go, oh, Ty, there's 1,000 people who have a 67 steps course like yours. Like, it's the only course like that in the world. There's not. Now SMMA has a lot of people teaching, but nobody has like my credentials, right?
Yeah.
There's like 2 guys on earth. Like I have my own social media marketing agency right now. So I've generated, 9 figures from my social media marketing internal agency that runs my own stuff. Nobody else teaching has done that much, really. So I'm just saying, get in stuff that's relatively hard. Maybe 8 is too much, but get in something that takes 3 failures. I would say building an AI SMMA. That's the new thing I'm teaching.
Yeah, putting AI into your SMMA to leverage people's times, make your product, instead of just generating leads, help them call the leads and nurture it. So all they have to do is just show up to their gym, do what they need to do.
Good. Okay. I just wanted to pop in here. Hang in there. Make sure you're downloading the app. Make sure you're going through the lessons you have access to. We just upgraded the tribes community, so it's easier to leave questions for me in the Ty Lopez official app. Download it. You should, almost all of you, I think all of you have access. If you forgot your password, press the forgot password and download it on Android or iOS. Use the same email you used to buy this program, and Ty Lopez official app. It's free. And then click on the tribes button. There's different communities you can join and ask questions there. I record video answers. You can interact with me. Plus, you can network with other people in this system. So,
Awesome.
bon voyage for the week.